Pelissero, who is in Minnesota and who reported 10 minutes ago that, Tom, the Vikings have reached out today to Drew Brees. What do we know?
Well, Drew Brees is available to be contacted through his agent, Tom Condon, because the negotiating window has opened. And Brees, despite all those public statements from Sean Payton, from Brees himself, does not have a contract at this point. Now, the context is, as I said earlier today here on NFL Network, the Vikings' plan going into this day was to engage in negotiations with the agents for all their quarterback options. That means not just Kirk Cousins, but their in-house guys, Case Keenum, Sam Bradford, Teddy Bridgewater, perhaps A.J. McCarron. They wanted to let this market flesh out before they decided how they wanted to proceed. Well, it's very rare to have a first-ballot Hall of Fame quarterback like Drew Brees, even at age 39, sitting out there on the market. So why not pick up the phone? That's exactly what they did, Andrew.
Yeah, Ian, it's the right thing to do, isn't it?
It is the right thing to do. And from what I understand, all of the other quarterback-needy teams have done the exact same thing. Just call Tom Condon, check in on Drew Brees, and just kind of see where things are at. You're right. Everyone does expect in the end he's going to remain a member of the New Orleans Saints. They're going to figure out this 2-year deal, keep him in the fold for next year and beyond. But, of course, a little intrigue never hurt. A lot of times deals get done, especially with agents who are really willing to use the leverage that they do have. A lot of times these deals do get done at the deadline, and this does seem to be the deadline.
All right, I'm going to be the cynic here, Mike. This is all a very public leverage play. Ian, take the call. Mike, very public leverage play. Do you buy that?
We lost Ian halfway through his answer right there. Just something popped up on his phone. Goodbye. I don't know about a leverage play. I'm sure everybody is just checking out their options here. I know that the Saints were hopeful over the weekend that they were about to come up with a deal here and about to strike a deal before we even got into this negotiating period. And obviously Drew Brees and Tom Condon didn't like the numbers that were kicked their way. And so we rolled into this negotiating period. I know that the Saints are trying to keep Brees somewhere in the area of the low 20s. $22 million per year is what he had in his last deal for 2 years. Brees, however, is looking at these quarterback numbers exploding. Jimmy Garoppolo, Matthew Stafford up in the high 20s, and Kirk Cousins going to flirt with 30 pretty soon here and saying, well, I should be up there. And the Saints, on the other hand, saying, well, this is a guy on the tail end of his career. So that's why you've got this disparity here, and the team's just not being able to find a middle ground right now. Saints hopeful it'll happen before Wednesday, before that $18 million cap hit strikes.
And that is dead money when that contract voids. Charlie Casserly, jump in here. What do you think of the Vikings reaching out to Tom Condon, Drew Brees' agent?
Absolutely. If you're going to get asked to be paid in the Garoppolo, above the Garoppolo period, and you're sitting there and I can have Drew Brees or I can have Kirk Cousins, excuse me, I'm taking Drew Brees. This guy's the fountain of youth, and he's better than Kirk Cousins. If I'm the New Orleans Saints, and maybe they're not going to like what I'm going to say, you cannot pay Drew Brees less than Jimmy Garoppolo. The salvation is you're not going to have to pay him as long as Garoppolo, but you can't pay him less than the highest-paid quarterback in the National Football League. You got to understand this guy has a lot of pride. He's done a lot. He resurrected the franchise in New Orleans. If he doesn't go there, what are you, in San Antonio or something right now? Think about it now.
Could be.
Okay?
Yeah.
Again, you helped him resurrect his career, too. You cannot pay him less than Garoppolo. There's pride at stake here.